Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to iTouch App Reviewers. In this video, I'm going to go over everything at Apple's event today. I know a lot of YouTubers are actually going to break this up into a bunch of little videos, but I think that's annoying to spam you guys' feed with a bunch of videos. So I'm going to put it all in one spot. I'm going to try to keep this video under 15 minutes. Under 10 would be great, but we'll see. There's a lot to go over here today. So first thing, this is pretty much everything that Apple announced today. In under 6 minutes. So if you want to watch that, you can. But basically, there's the iPhone XS, XS Max, and iPhone XR. I was wrong about the naming. I said I would call myself out. Yes, I was wrong. We don't need to go over how many of the leaks that I thought were right that actually turned out to be right. But I'm going to just say this one I was wrong with the naming, and I still think iPhone XS Max is stupid. But whatever, it is what it is. So Apple announces them with the new gold color, as we stated before, faster Face ID, and more. Apple's XS, XS Max, and XR won't ship with the 3.5mm headphone jack. Apple then revealed the iPhone XR, and there's a whole lot more, but I'm going to go through them individually here. So first of all, Apple shares the pricing for the battery replacements. So I just want to get this out of the way real quick because prices are going to go up. So right now you can go into the Apple Store, get your battery replaced for $29. After the end of 2018, prices are going to jump. You guys can see here, most of them are going to be about $49 for these ones, and then they're going to go up to $69 for other devices. So read through this and get your phone's battery replaced if you need to before the end of the year. All right, now that PSA is out of the way, let's get on to the first thing, which is the XR, which is kind of the oddball phone, which is actually going to make up, I think, most of the sales for the iPhones this year. So if you're in the market for a cheaper but really, really capable iPhone, this is a good one to check out. So not only does it come in more colors, but it actually has so many of the good features of the XS and XS Max built into it that, I mean, realistically, it's pretty close. It starts at $750 for 64 gigs, and obviously goes up from there. But here are some pictures of it. It does not have the OLED screen, so it has an LED or LCD screen. Has Face ID. I think the borders are a little bit thicker around the screen, but most people are not going to notice it. If an average person goes into the Apple Store, they're going to see this next to the XS. They're going to say, "Oh, this is $250 less. Let me get this." So that's that. All right, so this is kind of sad, but after no sign of AirPower at today's event, Apple wipes most mentions of it from the website, which is super weird. It's now been an entire year since the device was announced in September 2017 alongside the iPhone X. Just never happened. It's pretty sad, but I don't know. Apple's deadline is 2018 sometime. So I'm starting to think if we're going to see it at all, it's going to be in December, which is super sad. Shame on Apple for that. That will hopefully teach them a lesson. Do not announce things that aren't ready. Okay, don't do that, Apple. You disappointed a lot of people. All right, next up, iPhone XS hands-on. XS Max feels shockingly light. Killer features are depth of field, slider in photos, and dual SIM. So if you guys missed the event, I watched the whole thing. A lot of people were underwhelmed with these XS and XS Max. They were just underwhelmed with the whole keynote itself. Honestly, it was all right. I mean, I'm an Apple fanboy, so of course I liked it, and I was at work, so, it was even better. But one thing that's big about these, I know it's over here on the sidebar, they do have IP68 water and dust resistance, so you can do most things. Like if you drop it in a pool for a second, it's probably not going to break it, stuff like that. But with the new gold color, I think this is a gold color. But yeah, the gold color looks pretty good. The XS Max looks like a decent phone. I'm surprised they called it surprisingly light or shockingly light or whatever, because it is a heavy phone. I heard some other people say that it was heavy, I thought, so I don't know. There's debate about that. The dual SIM support, that's definitely cool. A lot of people will like that. Maybe not as much in the States, but abroad, like in China, I know they like that a lot. So I think this is a pretty good upgrade, but as you can see right here, usually the S years are disappointing. Most people don't want to upgrade because they just don't see the value, because it's expensive to upgrade your phone every year. And for the features that you're getting here, it's really not worth it. I would tell all of you guys to just hold out till 2019, next year, save your money, invest it, make more money, and then buy the 2019 iPhone with that money you invested, because then it'll basically be for free. But yeah, so next year's iPhone is going to be really cool. But let's move on to the next one, and that is Apple debuts new Apple Care Plus theft and loss plan, priced at $299 for iPhone XS and XS Max. So if you are an Apple Care Plus user, you guys can get this if you would like. I don't think I've ever gotten Apple Care Plus, but I hear it's nice, but I don't see the point of it for me. All right, so Apple's XS, XS Max, and XR won't ship with Lightning to 3.5mm headphone jack adapters. Now, on top of this, they also will not come with the fast charger either. They're going to come with the standard 5-watt adapter. So these are little tidbits that a lot of the other reviewers are not going to tell you guys, but basically it's not going to have the little Lightning to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter. So that means you're going to have to pretty much have wireless headphones or your old adapter from another one. and it will still have the 5-watt slow charger. So that's that. Next up, Apple actually discontinues the iPhone SE, 6S, and iPhone 10. So the iPhone 10 was a 1-generation device, as we actually reported on many months ago. We thought that this was going to happen, and it did. Apple's new lineup basically starts with the iPhone 7 now at $450, and the 7 Plus at $569, iPhone 8, and then 8 Plus, and then X or 10R, and then 10S and 10S Max. So you guys can see the pricing there. So the 6S you can't get anymore, 10 you can't get anymore. It's kind of a collector's edition item in my opinion. I'm going to keep using mine this year, proudly. iPhone SE, of course, is gone because that thing's obsolete. All right, next up, here is the 10R, which some of you guys may actually be interested in, and I don't blame you. So it is the budget. Some people are calling it the poverty edition, but honestly, I wouldn't call it that anymore. It's almost $750, so it's definitely not super cheap. But the display on it is like 300. I think it says in here somewhere. 326 ppi, but the iPhone 10 right now is 458. So if you're going from an iPhone 10 to this, don't do that. You will be disappointed by the display. And also you can kind of see the bezels look really thick around this. So I know thick is good for some things, but for bezels, not so much. But the colors do look pretty nice. They're not the colors that everyone was leaking necessarily. There was a blue, there's a red, there's also this white, black, coral, and a yellow. So overall, it's pretty good. It's IP67. It's not IP68. There's a couple compromises here and there. No 3D touch. Instead, it has haptic touch. Still got the A12 Bionic chip. Face ID, 12 megapixel, f1.8 aperture wide angle lens. It comes in these variants. I think the sweet spot for this one, honestly, if you're going to go for a cheaper device, the 64 gigs not bad, but I would probably bump it up to at least the 128 just to be future-proofed, because this thing is still going to be future-proofed. Even though it's the cheaper model, it's got the A12 Bionic chip, which just destroys anything on the market. Even the A11 chip still beats every single Android processor on the market by like 2 times. So this thing is just miles ahead. This is at least 2 years ahead of any Android phone. So keep that in mind. This thing is going to be a beast for 4 to 5 years probably. So $750 investment is not bad, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't upgrade your phone until 3 or 4 years till it starts breaking. This thing is going to be the one to get, especially because it comes in cool colors. I mean, who doesn't like that? All right, now here are the big daddies, the 10S and the 10S Max, and they come with the gold color now. This is very similar. I haven't looked at enough images to know for sure, but this looks very similar to the one that leaked last year from the FCC filing back in April. But yeah, I think the gold is going to look good. I think it's going to be popular. It's unique, kind of makes you stand out a little bit. And I don't know, I think it's nice. It's not too in your face or anything. It's kind of nice and subtle. And iJustine was showing it off and it looked pretty damn good. So there's a lot of new camera options within these iPhones and iOS 12, of course. A lot of cool things. They talked about bokeh a lot and how these pictures look. This looks really damn good. I mean, come on. But they're available in 64, 256, and 512 gigabyte storage capacities, space gray, silver, and gold. 10S starts at $999 for 64 gigs. 10S Max starts at $1099 for 64 gigs. And you can pre-order the smartphones on Friday, September 14th, ahead of launch day, which is September 21st, in more than 30 countries and territories. So most of you guys will be covered by that. Pre-order on the 14th, which is this Friday. So get your wallets ready if you want to do that. And now I want to kind of go over the Apple Watch, because it's kind of looked over a little bit, but I don't wear the Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch. It's not my favorite, but this thing is really freaking cool. This Series 4 watch has a 30% larger display with a thinner and smaller body to it, an ECG or EKG reader, which is amazing, and fall detection and more. So they're now available in 40 millimeter and 44 millimeter sizes. Has a thinner body, so I think it's a smaller footprint on your wrist. Even if you get the 40 millimeter, it's still smaller than last year's. I think the best thing about this entire thing, obviously they redesigned it a lot. This doesn't show the underside, which looks cool. There's new faces. It's way faster. It's 64-bit, just as we reported on. 50% louder speaker. Everything about this thing's better, but I think the biggest thing about this is that it has that EKG reader in it. I don't think there's any other device on the market that is over the counter that you can just go and buy that can do what an EKG does. So I think that is awesome that they're putting that in this watch. And I almost just want a watch just, so I can track my heart rate and stuff just for health reasons, even though I don't like them at all, these watches that much. But anyways, they started $399 for the GPS and $499 for the LTE and GPS features. So you guys can pick that up for yourself. I think this one will be just fine for most people, just the GPS version. And $400, it's a lot of money, but I think it's probably worth it. I think that's for the smaller one. Yeah, so I think the bigger one is probably a little bit more. But anyways, those are the rumors. How long has this video been going? 12 minutes. Hopefully I'll cut some of this out and it'll be down closer to 10 minutes. But let me know what you guys thought was the best thing about this event. If you didn't vote in the poll, I'll put it up around the 1 minute mark so you guys can rewind and go back to that and vote. But overall, I think it was a nice event. I think most people are going to skip upgrading this year unless you're getting the 10R, in which case I say go for it. That thing is actually not bad for what you're getting if you don't mind the slightly lower screen resolution. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Oh, wait, before I go, iOS 12 coming out for the public. The Goldmaster edition of the beta was out today. Public release is on Monday. And then a week after that, on the 24th, is macOS Mojave release. So just know that. All right, that's all I got for this video, guys. If you liked it, thumbs up, subscribe. Peace.